What's up, Hand Plan? Austin Malleolo here in the Hand Plan studio, bringing to you some options for the handstand push-up. The handstand push-up is a challenging movement to coach and scale because one, we're upside down. Two, it's challenging to scale when it comes to inverted body weight movements. We need to have a few understandings of minimal capacity as well. What can you do? How many can you do unbroken? And for how many repetitions in a workout? That's gonna matter a lot. Just because you have one handstand push-up doesn't mean you should do a workout that has 50 of them in that workout. So we need to be aware of those few things. So first thing is, let's have a toolbox of different ideas and options to scale the handstand push-up. It's not that one's better than the other, they're just different options that might equate better to the stimulus of the workout and the pairings with other movements that you might see with it. So let's get ready to rock and roll. So the handstand push-up, we can start with a few things by lessening the load by putting your feet or your knees on a box or a bench. We can put our feet up here on the bench, and your goal is to make sure that one, our hands are in the same position and our elbows are gonna break towards the feet, head away, and we'll come down and then up, and then we push through the window just like we would. To make it more challenging, we try to get more vertical, like so, coming down and up. Down and up. We can also drop to the knees here. This is where you might be able to get a little more vertical, and head goes towards the ground, and then head goes towards your feet, like so. That's going to be the handstand push-up scaled to a box. Now we can also do a piked push-up. These are very challenging, but absolutely good option, specifically for those that might be a little more nervous, but they are hard nonetheless, and it's a great strength developer. We're gonna get into a pike position, and we're just gonna make sure that we make a triangle. If my hands are here, my head needs to hit here, and that's gonna help for proper body alignment. So I come down, head comes forward, and then I press through the window towards my toes. Head away, head towards. That will absolutely get spicy for sure. Now, another challenging option is decreasing the range of motion. Now, this might not be the best option all the time, but it does give people a sense of accomplishment. We set an ab mat down, and the goal here is just to make sure people don't come crashing down. We need to see some control. One ab mat, maybe max two. We set up, we kick up, and then we touch, and then the head comes through. So that's another option from a scaling perspective. Another thing we can do is some dumbbells. Now, a nice challenging piece here, we could always do standing dumbbell strict press. We could do seated dumbbell strict press. And then one of the more challenging variations is going to be seated on the floor, where that midline comes into play here, pressing up. And again, making sure that the elbow positioning is about the same, so the elbows are facing forward. So those are a few options there. Now, there's a few fancier ones. We could always get upside down and do a version of a negative. We could do handstand holds. But nonetheless, these are a few options that keep your athlete moving. In a workout, we'd like to see at least 3 to 5 strict handstand push-ups before we volumize them. Either get into the world of kipping handstand push-ups or get a whole bunch. So if we're gonna see less than 5 handstand push-ups unbroken in a row, now might be an opportunity to scale. What you could always do for athletes is if they have a couple and they wanna practice, let them get 1 or 2 reps, or give them a couple of attempts. Hey, you get 2 attempts or 1 attempt against the wall, max effort, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 reps. And then from there, have a scaling option ready for them. That's a way for you to get them upside down a little bit. But again, we want to be mindful of volumizing specifically from a kipping perspective. Make sure we have that strict cutoff, probably at least 3 to 5 before we get kipping. But we can absolutely practice a little bit in the warm-up, but not get super high volume there. It's a skill, but also making sure that we work on that strict strength is very important. So making sure that within our workouts, we do this in our lesson plans for you guys, that there's cutoffs and minimum work requirements, but that needs to be a discussion with our athletes before the workout starts to make sure that you scale them effectively. So those are some handstand push-up scaling options. Work hard and have fun.